Hello, you made it back. Hopefully you have already finished watching the Google Docs Graphics #1 tutorial or demonstration and have completed that assignment. Highly recommend that you go back if you haven't done that already. We'll be doing the graphics #2. So we'll be going and getting ourselves a brand new file. So we'll get a blank Google Doc. That's our word processor. And again, we're going to be titling our images using the underlined word that's on the instruction sheet, which you can find inside your Schoology. So our first objective is to layer images. Now, in Google Docs, you cannot layer the images from the actual Google Doc, let's say, program. You can have two images that are side by side, but you cannot put one on top of the other. In order to do that, because we all want to do that, we have to insert a drawing. So although we are inserting images and we're going to be searching for them, we need to be inserting a drawing. By inserting a drawing, a new drawing for us, we get this sort of grid that we're able to play around on. And we can insert our images through the drawing program. So the docs and drawing are separate from one another. So this is sort of linked between the two. What we create here on this plane, we will save and close, and it will get imported into our Google Docs, and it will feel seamless. We want to have two images. I like to play with clip art, especially when I'm layering them, because then I might be able to get ones that have that transparency to them. So I'm going to click on my image. We can upload images that are already on our computer or on our drive in the cloud storage, or we can search. So here I'm going to search for a dog, and I have an opportunity from this search page to actually tell the type of image that I want. So I can be more specific about, yes, I want a photo, or in this case, I want a clip art. So I'm going to maybe hope that this guy, I'll select him. Great. Now, when I select him and I see that checkered board behind, then I know that this image is actually got a transparent background. Oftentimes, they will have a white background, which makes layering a little bit trickier. But this one I've selected is really great. It's got a transparent background. Just going to make it just a tick smaller. Move it on that plane for myself. I'm going to insert my second image now. So let's see, let's try to find another image. And also this one is also got a transparent background. So now I have these two images, and if I click, hold, and drag them, they are ordered by the steps that I put them in. So I put this big one in first, so he's in the back, and this little guy with the ball is in the front. If I want to change that order, I right-click on it and go to order. And so I can take this little puppy with the ball and send it to the back. And now he's kind of glancing out over the shoulder of my larger image. So this is what we mean by layering or ordering our images. So once we're finished with that, we've got the two images layered, then I'm going to save and close, and you'll see that it gets automatically inserted into our Google Docs. So I'll take that image and make it a little bit smaller. I cannot unlayer them at this point. I can't edit it. It's locked in. If I do need to edit, you can go here to this little pencil where it says edit, and that will bring up your drawing space again. So if you wanted, you could double click this and it'll bring it up as well. So that's our layering. So next one is we're going to work with the text box feature, and all of the images that we're going to work with now will have to do with the Google Drawings. So we'll be pulling that up. So rather than inserting an image onto our doc, we're going to insert the image into a drawing. So we'll find ourselves an image of a dog. And so we select it and it gets inserted into our drawing area. And then we're going to insert a text box. So this little T inside of the box is a text box where I click and drag and I kind of make an area for myself to type. So cutie patootie. But of course, we can't read this writing because it's black on this dark green. So maybe I'm going to highlight it and change that color. So the color of the text is found here with the three little dots. So this is our more menu. And by more, then I get a lot more. So I get all my alignment features. I can have bullets if I want. But I can definitely then change that text color to something, that would be much more readable for myself. So we also have the option, if we wanted to change the background, kind of fill in that background of that text box. Or if you would prefer to have it transparent so that it's kind of see-through. But we want to change, just for the purposes of our assignment here, we want to change just the text. We'll change the font of it. We could change the size. And then when we're finished, we save and close. And we can resize even from the doc side. Great. Next one, we're going to be putting a border on an image. So we could be using any kind of image, but in order to do a border, we have to do it in the drawings. So the more you practice, the more you'll get into a habit of going to drawings rather than just trying to straight up add the image like we did in the Graphics 1. So we're going to create a green 8-point line border around this image. Maybe I'm going to get a different image just because he's not quite centered. So this is just me. If I'm going to put an image, I'd like it on a centered picture. Oh, let's get this guy. So here we have our image. We're going to add in our border, and we'll make it green. And we'll make it, because right now it's a little bit hard to see. So let's make it a lot thicker to an 8-point image or 8-point border. And in this case here, the border that we've selected is just a straight line. So it is possible to get a dashed line, but that's a bit much. So 8-point border, green, and around our image. Save and close that. which inserts it into our document. Excellent. And next one is masking. So previously in Graphics 1, we looked at cropping an image. Masking is a little bit of the same idea as cropping, but it's a very specific to a specific shape. So let's go back into drawings and we'll get ourselves an image. So let's say I'm going to take this image and I only want one of those dogs. So, or actually I should say, I want to kind of get rid of some of this background here. In order to mask this, like with the crop tool, I can actually literally crop out one of the dogs so that I only see just the one dog. But with the masking tool, I can adjust the actual frame. So crop, if you move your mouse right beside, you get that little down arrow. And then we're going to pick from here a choice. And in this case, it's asking for the oval. So you'll see the oval tool is here, but you can mask in any of these shapes. So let's mask using the oval shape. Oh, isn't it lovely? So it's as if it cuts it out, crops it, but to an oval shape. Which is kind of fun if you want to go for the arrows or some of the other options that they have there. Our next graphic is called a word art. So you would think that you'd find word art here under the insert button, but we have to go inside the drawings program in order to do that. And then this guy refers to text boxes solely with text that you can change the font and the size with. If you want word art, or basically something that has like an actual fill to it, we can look under the actions button. So we get our text and it's a little bit boring. This light blue colored is standard. So we want to go in there and maybe like choose another font. And we can choose some fill for that. So on our assignment, we're looking to do purple with a 4-point orange border. So the line color, the paint can fills in the inside, the pencil is your line color. So that's our orange border, but we want to make sure it's nice and thick. So we want to increase the weight of it. And so there we have our word art and it's looking good. Save and close. Great. So we're ready to start to work with some of our shapes now. And our first shape that we'll work with is a rectangle. So we'll go to Insert Drawing, New, and it's that last one there in line. So we're going to pick the shape and we'll pick a rectangle to begin. And our rectangle, we want to fill with a blue fill, but we want it to be a gradient fill. So the first menu, if you will, is solid paint. It's all the same throughout, but gradient means that it will slowly seep into with white in the center. So you kind of get a more gradual fill. And, you know, just between us, if you go to custom, you can really like get some really cool fills if you want. Like That's quite cool. So you can really customize it, especially in our case, as we're going to be looking at building a logo. You might want to customize your fills. But for the purposes of our assignment, just a plain blue gradient fill is fine. And we want to have a 3-point red dotted border. So we'll go to the color. We'll make sure the border is red. We'll make sure it's a 3-point border, and we'll make it dotted. So we've got our image ready to go and insert it. So again, if you ever wanted to like rework your document, you could always edit it, come back in. And if you, let's say you saw it, you thought, oh, I really should have a thicker border, you know, for our purposes, just keep it at 3-point. But you could always come in to change that.